afternoon.
I want to check with you on Jamil Dean. Going for 2 plays. It looked like he collided with a teammate on the field. Just what he's dealing with, how he's got this.
He's got a hip flexor strain. Right now he's day-to-day. He's getting more tests run. We'll see later on this week.
Any other injuries to speak of that came out of the game?
Quite a few. Getting tests run, and we'll have a better update later on.
Do you have any more feeling about, Bucky or Chris for this week?
They'll get worked in more. They'll get worked in more and get more reps, and then we'll kind of evaluate them as the week goes on. But they'll definitely get worked in.
Todd, I know you were asked in postgame about that late 4th and 2 call and the decision to punt. I don't know how much detail you want to go into, but just what your thought process is, why you basically in a situation like that have to either trust that your offense can get 2 yards or trust that your defense can make a stop. And given that Buffalo had been able to do what they've been able to do in the last couple drives, was just curious what went into the thinking.
I think it was on the -39. From a schematic standpoint, we talked about it. 1 or less was positive. 2 was more or less figuring the punt. We figured we had enough time to get the ball back. I think it was 7-something minutes left. Thought we can get a good punt and hold them down there. Obviously, didn't work out, but that's what the thought process was.
We talked about special teams a lot this year. Whether it was missed kicks or blocked punts or now lately some return yardage. It just feels like there's a little bit of a whack-a-mole going on there. Is it new players that you've had to use because of injuries? Like, what has been sort of the commonality, if anything, to all those different problems?
Yesterday was just a kickoff team. There's no new players involved in that, and you got to be able to tackle and want to tackle and give maximum effort to tackle. The effort was there. We didn't make the plays. You got to make the plays when you're not a starter on this team and you're here because of special teams. You got to play better than that, and that's better off kicking it out of bounds and in the end zone than what we did yesterday.
Was that an option? Like, did you say to your kicker, hey, let's kick a touchback here, let's kick it out of bounds there, or just?
We tried that. That didn't work out either.
That just literally couldn't put the ball in the end zone when asked.
It didn't work out for us. I can tell you that much.
Your kickoff strategy for this, I think you guys have like a 7% touchback percentage. So obviously the idea has been to kind of kick it off and have it fielded within the first 5 yards, maybe.
Correct.
Have you felt good about that? I mean, I think your opponents start their average drive on about the 31, which is kind of middle of the pack. It's not like it hasn't worked. Is that what you want and what you want to have moving forward?
I want to have better tackles moving forward, and tackling inside the 30 will be outstanding. We've had games where we were okay. Yesterday we were not very good, and that wasn't acceptable.
Speaking of tackling, I know you guys talked a lot about big plays last week, and then they came and you had given up some big plays on defense this week. Is the pursuit not there? Is there any commonality here that you're seeing? Is it the lack of overall speed on defense? Like, what is allowing for some of these big plays?
It's no commonality. On the screenplay, we misfit. Either 2 guys jump inside or 2 guys jump outside and leave the crease. And we got to get that corrected. From that standpoint, you got to get it corrected. And he had time to throw. We were in zone coverage, and we drifted out of our zone. And that part's got to be corrected as well. And it's almost like it's a different guy each week. And it's week 10, 11 right now. You got to get that corrected.
So just details and what their assignment.
Small details, small details. And we did some good things defensively. We did some great things offensively. And we just got to put it all together.
Todd, you dealt with injuries at so many positions and overcoming them there. I mean, your back end on defense, obviously Jamel wasn't there for most of the game Sunday, but your back end on defense is fairly healthy. You have the guys you would want to have out there. Is it more concerning because that's maybe the one part of your team that's been able to avoid injuries and has been close to full strength this year?
No, that wasn't concerning. The concerning part is when we're covering, we're not rushing, and when we're rushing, we're not covering. So it's a combination of everybody on defense. It's not the back end. It's not the back end. It's not the front end. It's everybody combined together. We did better stopping the run because Cook's a dangerous back, but the small details in the 2 plays we gave up in the first half, that's critical. Regardless of where they start at field position-wise, you just can't give them plays. They're already a good football team. To even aid them even more is not what we're trying to do.
Along those lines, the defense has a respectable number of sacks this year. but not a lot from your edge guys. How would you assess what you're getting out of that position in terms of a rush?
Need more. We need more.
With that being said, is Hassan Reddick in play for this week, Todd?
Too early to tell right now. He's getting better, but it's way too early to tell.
Todd, there was a score early for the Bills where Diaby was literally 40 yards downfield covering somebody in coverage. And obviously when you dial up pressure from other positions, sometimes your edge rushers have to drop in coverage. Is he doing that by design, or is there someone that would be picking up that receiver downfield that didn't on that play?
That was a three-man rush. We had a bunch of guys back there that's supposed to have made that play, not Yaya. He was just reacting, running to the ball.
Where'd the other guys go?
We drifted.
Coach, I don't know, you're playing the Rams, obviously. You can speak to what kind of team they are. They seem to have it going. They just beat Seattle. But several years ago, I don't know where you were on that night that Baker Mayfield came into LA after 2 games and, threw them to a victory, the 98-yard drive. I know you followed Baker. He's now your quarterback. But would you recall anything of that, of what you thought when you heard or saw any of that?
I remember seeing the first quarter. That might be about it. I seen him make a nice throw down the middle of the field. That might be the only play I remember, to be honest with you. I don't catch too many night games.
Gotcha. Okay.
Todd, does Sean Tucker earn more playing time even when Bucky Irvin gets back?
That's hard to say. I mean, we go with the hot hand. We got 3 good backs, and we play them all, and we rotate them all, and whichever one gets hot usually gets the most touches.
Anything else?
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks, Todd.